Hello, my name is Jamie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Unlike any other YouTube channel that showcases Pokemon Go PvP content, mine exclusively showcases Shadow Pokemon. So, if you're into that type of content, I'd appreciate if you could like and subscribe.
So, let's get into today's video. Today's video, we are going to be showcasing Shadow Machamp. Yes, we have seen Shadow Machamp on the channel before. However, this one is a bit special. To my knowledge, I'm the only person that has ever used a double legacy, double nukes Shadow Machamp in the Master League Classic. So we are running Karate Chop, Close Combat, and Payback. So if you're a fan of booms, you're in for a treat. This Pokemon is not really the moveset you should recommend, or I'd recommend, or anyone should recommend for that matter. But it is pretty fun, and we're here to make some content. So its team partners are going to be Shadow Gardevoir, to deal with all these dragons, as we have no rock type coverage, so any flyers we kind of need Gardevoir to deal with, such as Lugia. We could obviously payback it, but it is quite expensive. And as always, trying to give us some bulk. The only semi-bulky mon that I have available, Shadow Snorlax, operating on the safe switch with the best buddy boost. I will be leading Shadow Machamp for the duration of the video, and let's just get straight into the battles. So, in game 1, we pick up a lead against Excadrill. The opponent instantly swaps out, probably expecting us to have counter. They switch into Metagross. I should really switch, but we're here for the booms. Close combat coming through, and the opponent shields. So, I switch out to catch the Meteor Mash on Snorlax. We can tank 1, no problems, and Lick is hitting 4, super effective. What I want to do in this matchup is lick the thing to death and leave with a superpower to threaten that return in Excadrill. So you can see my HP is getting quite low. I'm going to shield this up, get my HP as low as possible, and fire off a body slam. You can see we're almost at the superpower, we're now at it. So this body slam will be taking out Metagross, but the opponent decides to shield. So I'm just going to double body slam. This will mean, unfortunately, that the Excadrill will be farming us down. So I probably should have superpowered, but either way, the Excadrill comes in and farms us down. I was hoping that perhaps we'd make a superpower, but we did not. Back up comes the Machamp. I am going to shield this up as a Duron would KO from this range as we took the bullet punch damage. They now stay in just as we reach what they believe is a cross chop. They switch out, we're not running cross chop. They switch into Giratina, and guess what? The first boom of the video, we now switch out into Gardevoir. They're going to throw the Shadow Ball. That will take us out, but we're going to be able to Karate Chop down, and we might just BM payback that Excadrill in the back just because we can. We've got both moves loaded, and here it comes, and the opponent really disappointingly leaves the match. GG's to the opponent. If you were counting, they could have actually ominous winded me, so they must have been running Dragon Pulse. So in game 1, the fact that I'm trying to get booms, we actually could have lost the game, but we didn't. So in game 2, we lead into a Garchomp. They are absolutely wrecking us with Dragon Tail. They haven't thrown any energy, so we close combat it. We get the shield at this stage. Machamp, you're just going to go down. We once again don't get the boom, but we obviously have a fantastic response for this in Gardevoir. They switch out now into Excadrill. Excadrill down shields really isn't going to appreciate Snorlax whatsoever. We don't need to shield the first one. These moves do around 50%, so we can easily tank 1, like you can see there. I'm now going to over farm as much as possible. I'm going to shield this next one up. I need to leave with energy to threaten whatever comes in next. So I'm over farming on the 4th mud shot. Superpower is going to be taking out this Excadrill should they wish to not shield. They actually do shield. So now, I'm in a bit of a tricky spot. Do I want to commit my last shield or do I not? I am going to shield this up. And once again, we're going to overfarm. We expect them to try and sack. They do not. So this superpower definitely will be taken out of the Excadrill. We've got a little bit of residual energy. However, our Snorlax is double debuff. So with that in mind, I switch out. They've got Metagross in the back. And unfortunately, this is GG. So I top left. Moving on into the next battle. We pick up a lead against Melmetal. They instantly swap into Dialga. So I'm going to bank a close combat and bring in Gardevoir. With the Karate Chop damage, I'm hoping that I can one shield and completely charm down. Let's see if we've calculated that correctly. It takes around 8.5 seconds for them to get to the Iron Head. This is sped up and we charm down no problem. So they now bring back in the Melmetal. We are going to be able to hit for decent neutral damage with Shadow Ball. We don't get stabbed, but Gardevoir hits like a truck. They actually shield. They're over farming really heavily. You can see even Charm is doing quite a lot. Resisted. we're going to let Gardevoir go down and let's see what the opponent wants to do. We're obviously going to wait out our switch timer as they are misaligned. I did stay in for a bit in the Dialga matchup. We sneak a Karate Chop through. I am going to shield this move up as Superpower would probably KO from this range. And once again in the back is a Giratina. Are we about to see a boom? They never shield. And would you look at that? They do shield it up, but obviously we've got Snorlax, which is an absolute wall. Once again, I could have saved that. I'm really trying to land the booms and everyone is shielding. When I'm running my normal Machamp, absolutely no one respects the potential payback. But today, everyone's shielding. So I'm a bit sad, but as you know, I may as well just carry on yapping as this matchup is completely boring. I've got no idea why the opponent is staying in. They're obviously going to try and sack the Melmetal at some stage. So we're getting close to 100 energy. I'm just going to fire a Body Slam. There is the Melmetal. So Superpower coming through. This should do decent damage. It almost KOs. I'm spamming out Machamp. We catch the move and that is essentially GG's. A great attempt from the opponent, but it isn't going to be enough. We're going to be able to lick down. Back out comes the Giratina. I still have absolutely no idea why the opponent is playing this out, but you aren't getting away from it. As much as you don't want to lose to a double legacy Shadow Machamp, unfortunately, Mr. Opponent, it's about to happen. Another Body Slam coming through. This is going to get him really low and a couple more licks and we take that game. Moving on into the next matchup, we see a matchup against Zarude. If it was on counter, this would be fantastic. You can see that the Vine Whips are almost doing as much as our Karate Chops, even though they are super effective. I'm going to shield this Power Whip up. Let's see what the opponent wants to do. The absolute lunatic switches into Mamoswine. Mamoswine, I don't think you're going to appreciate close combat. Get out of here, Mamoswine. Straight in, straight out. The opponent is now switch locked, so they've already seen close combat land. So they're absolutely going to have to give me a shield here. They do shield up the close combat. We come in with Gardevoir. Unfortunately, I don't manage to charm down, so I am going to shield this up. I probably could let it go, but I'm just going to keep 3 Pokemon alive, so it's 3-on-1 versus whatever they have in the back. In the back is an Excadrill. Poor old Excadrill, even though it's got a shield, really isn't going to appreciate the lick damage from Snorlax. They fire the Drill Run immediately, which will take out Gardevoir. I'm just going to come in now with Machamp. When I was actually playing this matchup, I was in 2 minds about whether I should try and get the last shield or go for as much Karate Chop damage as possible. You can see that I overfarm and the opponent throws, so either way, this is GG's. Snorlax can tank 1 move and we're just going to be able to completely lick down. You can see that Excadrill is super low. They're going to have to get to 3 drill runs and I don't even think they're going to make 2. You can see we're still in the green. They don't even make the second and we take that game. As if Togekiss wasn't bad enough, when we've got Stone Edge, we actually are only able to hit this fairy for resisted or double resisted damage. They bring in Dialga. Snorlax Dialga is a matchup that I'm very comfortable with. If you always wonder why I have the best buddy boost on Snorlax, it is for exactly this matchup. We reach a Dragon Breath bulk point. You need at least 13 defense on your Shadow Lax for that, so you can see that they don't actually do that much damage. We bait with the Body Slam. The Tin Can shields it up, obviously really wanting to maintain alignment, but unfortunately, buddy, you shielded the bait. Superpower lands, gets rid of the Dialga. We've realigned our Pokemon, so we could be good to go. Double Legacy, double nuke Machamp into Togekiss. Are we going to pull this one off? Body Slam is a nice bit of chip damage. You can see now that the Togekiss is now in a range where our Gardevoir shouldn't have any problems dealing with it. They throw after 8, so this is either an Ancient Power or an Aerial Ace. I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. Shout out to Zionic. We don't shield it up, it's just an Ancient Power. We manage to charm down. In the back is a Kyogre. Once again, the normal Machamp would really struggle in the 1 shield in this matchup. I'd have to bait the Cross Chop and land a Stone Edge. However, Karate Chop and Close Combat mean I can overfarm. This one will be getting the shield and Shadow Machamp hits like a truck. They shield the first one. Second Close Combat coming through. Is this going to take out the big bulky Blue Whale? Big boom, but unfortunately it takes 1 more Karate Chop. Either way, we take that game. You love to see it. GG's to the opponent. Moving on into the next one, we pick up a dreadful lead against Giratina. As always, I am looking to sack onto the Snorlax, and we are really unsuccessful. They bring in Zarude. This isn't the best matchup as due to Zarude's dark typing, they do resist our lick damage. However, we can hit for fairly okay non-stab super effective with superpower. So one superpower definitely does not KO from this range, so I'm going to body slam first, and now I believe they are in superpower. I'm going to go straight for it. Will the opponent respect it and shield this up? Let's find out. They do not. We managed to lick down, so we have maintained, well, we flipped switch, but Gardevoir isn't going to appreciate Giratina with energy, so this is looking pretty rough. Despite the fact that we've maintained switch, the opponent brings back in the Giratina, and they're actually going to have to Shadow Ball. Ominous Wind will not KO, so I switch out, banking that as a sacrificial swap. We come in with Gardevoir. I know this is an Ominous Wind, but I've got no choice whatsoever other than to shield. I'm really hoping for no boost. They're staying in. So once again, I'm going to shield this up. Perhaps they've got a dragon in the back, and from an absolutely worst case scenario, we might be able to win this matchup. What have they got in the back? And it is Mewtwo. So this game is absolutely over. The only win con is going to be getting my switch timer up, but even a sacrificial swap at this stage isn't going to help. So this Side Strike will take us out, or Shadow Ball, whatever they want to throw. Side Strike takes us out. They've still got one shield, so I'm really not seeing a win con, but as I am recording for the video, we come in with Snorlax, we get to the body slam. This should force the opponent's last shield, but they actually don't shield, so we come in now with a close combat. This will definitely get the shield. They're going to have to throw, but they're going to farm to 2, I imagine. I don't think they've actually got the energy for 2, so can Lick outweigh the damage of Psycho Cut? We've got hardly any HP, and from a game what I was planning on top left in, we actually somehow win. Absolute scenes here. I think the opponent's ballsed up, but we take those. So we see another Giratina lead, and this time we do sack successfully. Sacking is not only great because we wasted the opponent's energy, it's also great because we have now misaligned the switch timers. I don't know if we'd survive a close combat from this range. I'm just going to do some chip damage here. With my Snorlax, I'm going to leave the ball in the opponent's court, see if they want to debuff themselves with a close combat. It does around 75%. We might survive and make the body slam. We do survive, but with 1 HP and a dream, the next now takes us out. Worst case scenario, they've got loads of energy. We're going to have to shield up the Gardevoir. Even a wild charge would do decent damage, so we are going to shield this up. I'm really hoping that something in the back we can deal with. Let's see what the opponent does. We have got a little bit of residual energy, and the Giratina is dry. They come in with Dialga, so winning switch would have been great here. We're now in a really tricky spot. I am going to have to shield this move up as well, because Iron Head would definitely KO. It'll KO probably about 15 Gardevoir. We do manage to charm down, which is great. We've got loads of energy. I'm going to go straight for a Synchronoise. I expect the opponent will shield this up, and we aren't really in a range where charm is going to be doing enough, so we come straight in with the Machamp. We're throwing the Hail Mary. Please, can the payback land? It does land. Absolute craziness. The opponent is now going to have to throw to take us out. We was at the close combat, but that isn't really the play. We're just going to fast move down. So from an absolute rough spot, we somehow win that game. Shadow Machamp payback does huge damage. You absolutely love to see it. Moving on into the next one. We see a lead against Palkia. I'm going to allow this Aqua Tail to come through and try and one-shot them with a close combat. Let's see if the opponent wants to shield it up. Even if they shield it up, we're in a great spot because we can bring in Gardevoir. The opponent doesn't shield. We get taken out. I was hoping it one-shot because Palkia isn't the bulkiest, but we managed to come in with Snorlax and we lick down. They bring in Machamp, a fellow man of culture, and in the back is Snorlax, and they're hitting us for super effective. So this game, unfortunately, is absolutely over. It's just lack of alignment. It's a proper RPS game, as if we would have obviously led Gardevoir, we would have been in a great spot. So we top left that game, moving straight on into the next one. We lead our Shadow Machamp into Metagross. On counter, we would win the one shield as a Shadow. The regular doesn't, so just a match up there for you. But on Karate Chop, we should be able to make back-to-back close combat. So I shield up the Meteor Mash. Let's see what the opponent wants to do. We're now at the back-to-back close combat. I imagine close combat should KO from this range. The first one does grab the shield. I go straight for the second one. does close combat, one shot Metagross. It is only neutral due to their psychic typing. One more Karate Chop and Machamp still wins the one shield, even on this really spicy moveset, which is fantastic. Let's see what the opponent comes in with. They come in with Togekiss, one charm, takes us out. We're now going to bring in Snorlax. Snorlax has a fairly decent matchup here. The licks do a lot of damage, and with fast spammier to our charge moves, we deny the charm. So this body slam should be getting a shield, I imagine, unless they're saving 2 shields for whatever is in the back. You can see we get a great bit of lag, but the charge move does register. This is only 8, so it's going to be either an Ancient Power or Aerial Ace. I'm also going to not shield, hoping for no boost. They don't boost, they're now coming with Gardevoir, banking that energy. They stay in, show me a dragon in the back, and in the back is Palkia. So like in the last match, like I said, if we would have been leading Gardevoir, we would have easily won RPS as well. But in this game, we're obviously on the beneficiary side of it, and that is a good game. I think 5 charms deleted that Palkia. So moving on into the next battle. We need our Shadow Machamp into Groudon. This is pretty dreadful for the entire team as it does beat everyone. So I'm just going to throw a Hail Mary close combat and look to make a dip into Snorlax. It actually lands and it does huge damage. I can't believe how much damage that's done to Groudon. Groudon is so bulky. The fact they're so low, I thought they'd go straight for the Earthquake, which they do. So we shield it up, but we are still not in the best spot. They come in with Zacian. But we know we do survive the close combat from this range. They didn't build up to the back-to-back, hence I didn't CMP tie them. So they go for their play rough. That means that we should be able to get a nice bit of chip on this Zacian or Zacian, whatever you want to call it. So I overfarm and I go for this second body slam. Will this draw a shield? If it doesn't draw a shield, they're going to try and 2-shield, potentially a Charmer in the back. We do draw a shield. They are going to have to throw energy. They don't throw energy and we get to another body slam. This should put the Zacian quite low, which it does, and they actually throw as well, so this is fairly decent for us. They are going play rough, so they shouldn't be at another move. So I come in with Machamp, looking to Karate Chop down, hoping I can nuke something else in the back. In the back is a Lugia, so you know what time it is. We're not messing around, we go straight for a payback, which lands, does huge damage. We're now looking to try and charm down. This is just a Sky attack, and even though I'm super squishy, I'm not shielding it up. We're not respecting Lugia there. They come in with Groudon. This is going to be a Fire Punch. I am going to shield this up though, and I'm hoping we can get enough charm damage on this Lugia to put it in a range where we can just fast move down. They're now at the Sky attack, and Gardevoir charms down, so another huge payback landing in that game. You love to see it. So we now lead into a Kyogre. They actually switch out into Mewtwo, and I've got no idea why I stayed in so long. Because I stayed in so long, I don't want to get focus blasted, so I've gone into Gardevoir. We do bank a close combat in the end game. They go straight for the Shadow Ball, so it looks like we're going to have to commit both shields here, as they're now got the energy for another Shadow Ball. So we do 2 shield, which isn't great. We've got a nuke loaded, ready to go for the end game. They come in with Kyogre. We go for a Synchronoise. We did deny a Waterfall, so this Kyogre is going to take quite a lot of damage. We get a shield straight back with the Synchronoise. Let's see if the opponent commits to the farm down. They do farm us down, but they are now deep into the yellow. We've got the close combat locked and loaded. I am going to save that for whatever's in the back. In the back is a Dialga. Machamp hasn't got too much HP. We build up to the back-to-back. This first close combat would probably KO from this range. It draws a shield. We go straight for the second. We're super low, so despite the fact we're down 2 shields, we could still be winning this match. Close combat takes them out. The Kyogre is really low. They're going to have to get to 3 Surfs, as Surf does around 33%. We could probably just lick down from this range. You can see they're at the back-to-back, but we are going to survive this next one as well. We're not too far off a body slam, and Snorlax manages to clutch out this game. So despite going down 2 shields, the strategy of saving the nuke coming absolutely clutch in the endgame. Moving straight on into the next one. I believe this is the last matchup of the video. Are we going to see any big booms lead? We see a Zacian in the lead, and we switch into Snorlax. Once again, we do CMP time, so if they go back-to-back close combats, we are going to do big damage to this or get shield advantage. Let's see what the opponent wants to do. they do draw a shield and they do go for their back-to-back. Snorlax, I'm really sorry, you're an absolute staple of our team, but I am just going to let you go down. So we've got shield advantage, we've got one super oppressive mon, and we've got one Pokemon that absolutely loves to nuke. You can see that because I switched out and they didn't, we're unable to switch out of this Metagross matchup. So I am now going to be forced to shield. We took loads of damage, we're in such a rough spot. Are we possibly going to be able to win this matchup? That I am not sure on. So I am going to have to double shield and I'm going to look to try and double nuke something in the back. So I'm over farming. I am going to have to throw energy. There's zero chance that we can karate chop down. So this close combat will either take them out, which it does. Let's see what they come back in with. They come in with a Zarude. I'm close to the back-to-back close combat, but I still think there is zero chance of winning this game. Let's see if we pull it off. Close combat does draw the shield. We get to a second close combat. This close combat, I'm really hoping one-shots. Does it one-shot Zarude? Yes, it does. I'm spamming out Gardevoir. Can we charm down or can we make the Synchronoise? We make the Synchronoise. Once again, this team somehow pulls off what looks to be an impossible matchup and we take that game. So those were the battles featuring the double legacy, double nuke, Shadow Machamp. You can see that we somehow managed to pull off some absolute crazy victories despite some really poor coverage and some interesting movesets. I think we confused the opponents and I think I was quite confused a lot of the time with some of the plays, but we did manage to pull off some big victories. So if you like this content, I'd really appreciate it if you smash that like button to try and help the channel grow, and I will see you all in the